Miss Cotrina, how did you get out of the relationships? So happy to be here with Miss Cotrina. Miss Cotrina, now we want to say that topic again. Say it the way you want to say it.
Okay, I'm gonna say I admire myself, and I'm my own celebrity. And how did I how did I get to the point where whereas I could tell myself that how I came up with that perception of myself. Um, it started actually. I just learned to admire myself. Actually, I just woke up and had a spiritual awakening
Mhm.
about who I who am I. I was lost for a long time, and through prayer and meditation, I discovered myself. So who I am, I was always this person, but how I how I learned to admire myself, how I came up with that. It's like I admire myself because I feel like I'm different from most of people around me, and I don't have a very large circle.
Well, hi everyone. We have a very, very special guest here today with London. And I wanted to welcome the young lady. Her name is Cotrina. And I want to let you know we're going to have a good topic today. Title of our theme of our program it's a wonderful theme, and it's a story about Miss Cotrina. And if you look at how she's doing right now, she's doing beautiful. She looks beautiful. She's doing great. But the topic is um, what is it? My Hollywood, my own. I'm in my Hollywood for myself. Hollywood. I'm in Hollywood for myself, and also that I admire myself. So, hi, Miss Katrina.
Hi, London. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm so happy to have you here today. I want to say hi to all the social medias and the radio. I'm so happy to be here with Miss Katrina. Miss Katrina, now we want to say that topic again. Say it the way you want to say it.
Okay, I'm gonna say I admire myself, and I'm my own celebrity. And how did I how did I get to the point where whereas I could tell myself that how I came up with that perception of myself. Um, it started actually. I just learned to admire myself. Actually, I just woke up and had a spiritual awakening
Mhm.
about who am I. I was lost for a long time, and through prayer and meditation, I discovered myself. So who I am, I was always this person, but how I how I learned to admire myself, how I came up with that. It's like I admire myself because I feel like I'm different from most of people around me, and I don't have a very large circle. I have a few, like my family, my relatives, and a few chosen friends. I'm very selective, but a lot of times I make the wrong choices. I get in relationship with people that don't appreciate me, and that's okay, because when people don't appreciate you, at least this is what I'm finding. When people don't appreciate me, I have learned to appreciate myself. And yeah, I appreciate myself because I admire myself because I treat, I try to treat people well. If I don't treat a person well, it's not intentionally. And I admire myself because um, nobody that knows me from the age of from since my early 20s, I don't recall calling anybody out their name or disrespecting anybody. I mean, that's and the reason why nobody could I don't believe if somebody could say it, you know, I don't remember. But
Well, Miss Katrina,
yes,
Miss Katrina, um, well, I want to tell everybody how I got in touch with you, and what caught my attention is because of what you're saying. There's some. First of all, folks, I want you to know that Miss Katrina is in New York, and also that I saw her on TikTok, and she was just talking about how the relationships. You were talking about how the relationships that you're in, and um, how you felt about how you were treated, and how people would brainwash you in your mind and make you feel like you were a lesser person. How you said people would tell you that you were nobody, you would never be anything. So this is what caught my eye with Miss Katrina, because I wanted to for her to come on and inspire people. And you look at her picture, you listen to her talk. Miss Katrina, I know you've been through quite a bit, but you have this philosophy that brought you out, this idea, this thought, what brought you out of where you were. And that's why I asked you, I said, Miss Katrina, how did you get out of the relationships? So I wanted to start with that, because what caught my ear was you said you were in a relationship with a man that constantly told you that you wasn't going to be anybody. You also said that, did you say that he abused you?
he did. So this is how I was. I was in a relationship with a man. We were from two different worlds. It's like his relatives, his siblings. They when I would go to visit them, they would remind me. They would tell me, Katrina, you're nothing, and you're nobody. He never said that to me, but he treated me as so, whereas he did not defend me, and he allowed it. I had to defend myself, and I also had to defend him. So throughout that relationship, like I was saying, and my relatives, like my mom and my siblings, they never told me I was nothing and nobody, but they showed me. How they showed me, they ignored me. When I would talk to them, or I would have an idea, or I would try to express myself, they, my siblings, like, they won't, if I'm calling them, they won't answer the phone. Or, my sister would say, I'm not interested. So that wasn't saying it, but I was getting that feeling. And so that really made me feel bad. But so far as like the people that was in a marital relationship, in that relationship, I was in that relationship when I was 14, and I stayed in it to the age of 37. And I grew up with them, and I really loved them, and I still love them. And but it was like we were from two different worlds. The way I grew up, like my relatives, like growing up as a young lady, I had a lot of creative ideas. I had a lot of financial creative ideas, and I would tell it to my mom and my stepfather, and they would say, "Well, that's not a good idea." And while I was in the relationship, I really didn't want to be with the man, but I wanted my parents' approval, and they really didn't approve of anything I did, but they did approve of my relationship with this man. And then when I would go over to his relative's house, they would invite me over to ignore me and to make me feel less than. And I would complain to my mom how they were hurting me, how I didn't want to go. But let me tell you, she would, you know, I listened to my mom. I believed in her. She would tell me, go, Cotrina, go over there. And when you go over there, dress up. And I want you to sit there and I want you to look real nice. I mean, at the time, I wasn't aware. At the time, my mom, she liked the drama. It entertained her the way that I was hurt, and that I would go over there and I would come back complaining about how deeply they hurt me. But, you know, as I think about it, my mom was preparing me, you know, they say honor thy mother and thy father. She was preparing me to be emotionally strong. That was not her intention, for me to take that abuse. And those people, it was what they did was they built they built me up to be strong for the journey that I believe that God is taking me on. Because I mean, where I want to go and how I want to be, I want to inspire others and let them know when there's a blessing. I'm not really all that articulate, but when I was reading the Bible, I was always, you know, intoxicated. So, but what I do know and what I hear from other people, like bless your enemies, because everything that the people in that, I don't call them my in-laws because they're not my in-laws. I'm not married to them, but the people in that marital relationship, I want to tell you, they were very, very abusive. And the mom, she's a very nice lady. I can't really say anything bad about her, but while I would go to her home, her daughters would they would all plan how they were going to treat me, and I would just walk into it. I knew I was walking into it. They would plan, you know, how they would treat me, and then the mom would leave the room, and she would allow them to treat me like that. And then the other siblings, that it were two of them that would say, there were other siblings that would sit there. They wouldn't say anything, but what I would like to say to that, they would say, well, you know, they would say, well, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to you. And I would say, and like the mom, I would say, it's like seeing a building burning and seeing people burning inside that building, but you're not calling the fire department. You're not calling for help. You're just sitting there. You are ignoring it. You're watching it. So I don't know what you call it. Are you entertained? Do you like it? Or you didn't do anything, but you didn't stop it. So that's just like watching a building burn, and you're not doing anything. And as far as the man, when I like how I started, I was very creative. Like I used to watch TV, and I used to I was in my early 20s, and this is real estate tycoon. And back in the early 80s, you could buy houses for really cheap. So I ordered these books, and I was so excited. I told my mom and my stepfather, and then they said, no, that wasn't a good idea. So, you know, I wanted to please them. So I listened to them, and then what infuriated them was my mom told me, go get your cosmetologist license. I went to get my cosmetologist. She said, we gonna open up a beauty shop. She gonna open up a beauty shop. Well, anyway, I guess she was taking so long. So I went and I found an abandoned building. And I went to apply for that building to get a grant and everything. How it happened was, I had to go to this place and over here in Brooklyn, New York, and these beautiful women, they helped me. I didn't have no business knowledge. I was straight up ghetto. I didn't know how to act. Only thing I knew how to do was look pretty. So these women, they taught me how to be business oriented. They taught me, you know, how to apply for the building. So well, anyway, I went there. They told me to write an essay. Then I had to go to the auditorium and bid on the building. And then I was like about 26, and all these people were in the auditorium. They were clapping for me. And the man, he was there with me, the man I was married to. Everybody was so proud of me. Well, anyway, it infuriated my parents. Now that I look back, it infuriated them because they told me that wouldn't work, but I went and did it anyway. So, I was getting high, I was drinking alcohol, and now I was smoking weed, and but the thing is, in the marital relationship, I was not allowed to roll my own weed. So he, he was rolling it. So I'm sure he was putting things in it. Well, anyway, I started to hear the sound of my mom inside of my head talking. And I told her what she was saying. And then she said, well, I'm going to have you committed. So I took my two sons and we ran because I ran with my two little boys. And then they talked the man that I was in the marital relationship. They couldn't have me, institutionalized. So they told him to do it. So remind you, when I met him, he couldn't read, but he could read now. But at the time he was not able to read. So they told him, well, anyway, they convinced him that, that if you let her go, do things, she's going to leave you. I believe that's what they told him because he was on their team. So I'm saying all this to say that the people in the marital relationship, it was so many people that were against me, and it was just me all by myself, fighting for my sanity, fighting for these people. The people in the marital relationship, they really didn't know what was going on. Their only goal was to stop me from being, having money. It's like they were a very poor family. So it's like he was the man, he had a job, and the family thought he was like wealthy. And it was just me, him, and I had two little boys, and I don't know. They wanted us to give them money every time they seen us. And then when I would, they wanted me to make him, but I didn't. I took whatever he gave me. So I couldn't make him give them anything. So they labeled me as selfish and stingy. And I believe that I was selfish and stingy, but I wasn't selfish and stingy. It was that I would give anything that I could give you, but I would not give you everything I had because I had to have something, because I had to take care of myself and my family. So I couldn't give you my last. I can only give you what I can give you. So it was like people told me who I was. So I believe who they told me I was. My mom told me that, Cotrina, your thinking is off. You don't think right. You're mentally disturbed. Go to the doctor and get medication. And it's like all of that was a lie. But what was going on is they were preparing me for a journey. It's like whatever God has for you, nobody could take it away from you. What I see is that God is prepared. Like I have something for God is like saying to me and anybody else, I have something for you. And let these people think that they are stopping you, and I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to have it. So they are the ones that's going to give it to you. It's like those people, it's like my mom. I don't think it's like I was always who she wanted me to be. She did not like the woman that God was creating me to be. So she changed. I was who my mom wanted me to be, not who God wanted me to be. So so it's like I see it as though My mom don't have a problem with me, and those people, they don't have a problem with me. People that try to change you, their problem, my mom's problem, her problems was with God. She didn't want me to be, she tried to change my identity. And as far as that marriage I was in, he wasn't with me. He was with the woman that my mother wanted me to be. I did not want to be in that marriage. I was so intoxicated the whole marriage. And I just was an obedient daughter. I was a obedient wife. I did whatever the man wanted me to do to a certain extent. It's like he used to beat me up. And it's like, I feel like this. When a man has a car, he's proud. He want everybody to see it. He have jewelry. He's proud. He want everybody to see it. When I was a young lady, I was very proud of my body. So I will always wear things that showed off my body. And every summer he would make sure throughout the summer he kept me with a black eye. And I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know that it was wrong, because growing up as a young lady, my mom, she beat me, and I felt like, she loved me, and I felt bad that she was beating me. I felt sorry for her. I felt that I wanted to please her. I wanted to do right. I wanted to be right. So I felt like I owed her. I felt like, well, let me do whatever it is she want me to do so that I could please her. And so that's the way, that is how my mind was. And so I stayed with the man, and I felt sorry for him, that he didn't believe in us, and that he didn't trust me, and that he believed that he wasn't the man for me. I felt really sorry for him. So but I would not hide my body. I would not give, for some reason, he could not control me for showing off, my gift, the body, the curves that God blessed me with. That he could not stop. I mean, even with the black eye, I would still go out, the way I wanted to go out. And
may I ask you a question then?
Please do.
I know a lot of people might be able to listen to what you're saying. They might be in the same predicament or have been in the same predicament, and you were able to pull out of the situation. As you said, you also, you told me earlier before we came on live that you were on a lot of drugs and all that, and you were able to come out of the drugs. Can you tell us how you came out of doing drugs, and how long have you been clean?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. I was in the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, started in 2010. But I was on all these psychiatric medications because I thought I needed it. But anyway, what happened was I was on it for so many years, and I was on every psychiatric medication that Medicaid paid for. So I had a spiritual awakening. I said, well, you've been on every psychiatric medication, so none of them work. So why don't you get off of it? So in 2018, I stopped taking those mood stabilizers. I was looking for something to make me feel good. So I started working the program, and it said, meditate and pray. So I began to meditate, and I began to, meditation gave me, I began to get a conscious contact with God, and I became spiritually aware of everything that was going on around me. I was blind. I didn't know what was going on. So how I came off, it was time. God just told me it was in God's time. Because, and then the people in the fellowship were saying, Cotrina, you don't love yourself. And just like a whole lot of people, I was saying something wrong with y'all. All this money I'm spending on myself, making myself look good, and y'all telling me I don't love myself. Y'all got a problem. But the thing was, I love myself, but my problem was I was feeling sorry for myself because I wanted other people to love me.
Mm.
So I didn't know how to go inside myself and embrace the God that was inside of me. And then as I started studying, the way people treat me, and a lot of times these people that I wanted to love me, they did not love themselves.
Wow.
So I discovered, see, I loved it myself, but I wanted other people to love me. And when I was a young girl, I used to cry to my mom and my stepfather. I used to cry, telling them, I don't have no friends. Nobody likes me. Nobody likes me. And they used to be like, don't worry about that. I cared. I wanted friends. And then my mom would tell me, one time she told me, people don't like you because of your shape, because of your body. And I said, that's the dumbest thing in the world. But, because I liked the people and I didn't judge people, I didn't, because all of us, we all, no matter how we shape, we are creatures of God, and we are beautiful, we are divine. No matter how we shape, God don't make nobody ugly. It's the way we look at ourselves. I've been big and I've been small. And one time I was going to the gym and I was working out and I was saying, oh, I feel beautiful, but why do I have to be?
Cotrina is in New York. And also that I saw her.
This is Willie Johnson, an ADI virtual actor. Hey, check us out. Our second radio station, LICMC2 Radio. This is Willie Johnson. Looking forward to you listening to us. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to LICMC.net radio. Now listen to LICMC Radio 2. We have LICMC.net and LICMC Radio 2. You can access both by going to ldwcenterprise.weebly.com/radio. That's ldwcenterprise.weebly.com/radio. Listen to LICMC Radio and LICMC Radio 2. Next time you need a sweet treat for your special event, birthdays, parties, or just a little treat for yourself, connect with Millie's Munchies. That's right, remember Millie's Munchies. Cheesecakes, cakes, cupcakes, cookies. Give them a call or leave a message at 248-818-7290. That's 248-818-7290. Or email mildredmarion56@gmail.com. Sugar-free options available and catering in select areas. That's Millie's Munchies.
Delicious popcorn.
I'm waiting on a word only you can speak.
Join the V-Mogul Club ADI Virtual Acting Group from anywhere in the world. All are welcome. Donate and subscribe to support and access our entertaining dramas. Email londondoris@gmail.com. That's LONDENDORIS @gmail.com. Or call 248-701-0885 or 1-800-875-0674.
Donate anytime at LONDENWA. That's Cash App LONDENWA. Thank you for your support.